Hi, Brian Poulin here again. In this snippet, I'm going to be telling you how we appraise vehicles here at Poulin Auto Country. Doesn't matter if it's Poulin Auto Country for that matter, because I think everybody pretty much does it the same way. First and foremost, my advice to you is clean the car. It's not like going to a wedding in a pair of jeans. You have to put your best foot forward, make sure that car is clean. That way you're going to maximize the value you get for that car. Because when an appraiser actually gets into a vehicle, first thing he does is look around, see what's in the car, and if there's empty Coke bottles and McDonald's bags in the back of his head, he's saying, well, this car obviously is not being maintained or taken care of as well as it could be. So you never get a second chance at a first impression, so make sure that car puts its best foot forward when you bring it into a dealership to have it appraised. First thing we do at Poulin Auto Country is we input the information into a computer and we actually print out an appraisal sheet. On that sheet, there's a checklist of all the equipment that vehicle has, and the person who's doing the appraisal takes that sheet with them, goes out and does a visual inspection of the vehicle with the check sheet. We check the tire tread depth. We also check the condition of the paint, if there's been any obvious body work done to the vehicle. When we get into the car, we look around, we look for stains on the seats or if it's been smoked in. All those things can have an effect on the value of a vehicle. Once we've done the visual inspection of that vehicle, we actually do a mechanical inspection. For example, we'll get in the car, actually drive it, make sure that all the shift points in the transmission are working properly. In the case of it being a four-wheel drive, we will make sure the four-wheel drive system is working, make sure all the power windows work, the air conditioning works, all those items. Those are things we have to look at as we're appraising a car. When we're done doing the drive, we take all that information that we have, we come back into the dealership, and there's a bunch of resources that we have at our access as far as coming up with a value for that car. For example, there's Kelley Blue Book. 90% of the consumers online are utilizing the internet, so most people know what Kelley Blue Book is. That's kbb.com. They can go to that website, put in the condition of their car, and get a rough idea of what that car is worth. As a dealer, we have other tools such as NADA guides. We also have auction reports that are a snapshot of the last week's sales of certain models. We take all that information, put it together, take into consideration what that vehicle needs, i.e. if it needs tires, if the brakes were pulsating, if one of the power windows wasn't working. We take all that into consideration and we come up with the actual cash value of what that vehicle is. We actually have to appraise it that if we were going to liquidate that vehicle tomorrow, how much would somebody be willing to write us a check for it? So that's the value that we come up with for a trade value. There is a difference between trade value and trade allowance, and I'll be getting into what the difference between those two things are when I get into pricing of the vehicles. Also, in the case of us looking at an off-make vehicle, for example, we're a Jeep dealer. We don't look at Lexus trade-ins too often. So that's not something I'm necessarily very familiar with when it comes to trade-in values. So we have a huge resource with other dealers as far as we can make phone calls. In a case like that where we want to be safe and make sure we get you the most value for your particular trade, we will actually make phone calls to people we know that have experience with those particular models so we can actually maximize the value we get for your vehicle. That's pretty much how we do trade-ins, trade appraisals. So keep your eyes open. We're going to be doing pricing on our next snippet, and I hope you have a great day.